In Europe, and President Biden has been talking about it this morning with Italy's prime minister at the G7 summit, the day after leaders there agreed to provide Ukraine with a $50 billion loan backed by frozen Russian assets. And President Biden signed a security agreement with Ukraine's leader.
This agreement accelerates Ukraine's integration into the European transatlantic communities.
But Russia's leader does not want that. Vladimir Putin says he'll stop the war if Ukraine renounces plans to join NATO and withdraws troops from occupied regions, which Ukraine would likely reject since it considers those regions Ukrainian territory. Pope Francis is also at the G7 summit and will meet with President Biden, who's Catholic, the day after the president told reporters at the G7
he will not commute a sentence for his son Hunter after the younger Biden was found guilty on 3 federal gun charges.
I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that.
President Biden also repeated his pledge to not pardon his son. A pardon would wipe away a conviction. Commutation would lessen a penalty.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Former President Trump met with Republicans at the Capitol. House Speaker Mike Johnson tells Fox they're optimistic that he'll be elected again.
He said something's happening in America, and we see it. There's a demographic shift going on in all these different segments of the population.
The president told Republicans at the meeting Milwaukee, where he'll be nominated at the convention next month, is a horrible city. Asked about it on Fox, he said,
well, I think it was very clear what I meant. I said we're very concerned with crime. I love Milwaukee. I have great friends in Milwaukee.
Even more rain is forecast for South Florida, where 2 feet's already fallen in some areas.
Which left stranded cars, down power lines, and water in businesses and homes. Emergency responders in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Sarasota, and Fort Myers say they've made over 100 water rescues.
Fox's Dana Marie McNichol. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
A setback in federal court in Louisiana for LGBTQ rights advocates.
The expanded civil rights protections under Title IX were set to take effect in August, but that's now on hold due to the preliminary injunction granted by U.S. District Judge Terry Doty. Doty, who was appointed by former President Trump, called the Biden administration's new rule, quote, an abuse of power. His order blocks the rule in Louisiana, which challenged it in April, as well as Mississippi, Montana, and Idaho, who also joined the suit. The rule would expand the definition of sexual harassment at schools and colleges and would add safeguards for the victims. Title IX, which was passed in 1972, bars sex discrimination in education. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
A few days after a man in Kentucky was convicted on terror charges for joining and fighting with ISIS, a Minnesota man gets 10 years in prison for the same thing.
Abel Hamid al-Mariam could have gone to prison for 20 years in the U.S., but prosecutors say he cooperated, so they recommended just a decade. He was a naturalized U.S. citizen who joined ISIS in 2015. He said he went to help fight the regime of Syrian leader Bashar al-Assad. His attorney said al-Mariam's wife died in his arms after she was shot in front of him by either rebel forces or an ISIS fighter. Al-Mariam said in court that he buried her, then surrendered to the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces, which held him until the FBI returned him to the U.S. He pleaded guilty to providing material support to a terrorist organization. Jill Nato, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stocks could fall. Dow futures down more than 200 points. NASDAQ futures also falling the day after hitting a record high again. In the battle for hockey's Stanley Cup,
here's Barkov. He scored!
Alexander Barkov netted what ended up the game-winning goal for Florida, beating the Edmonton Oilers 4-3 on ABC. The Panthers now lead the NHL final 3-0. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Longtime Chief Staff of former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan behind bars. Tim Mapes reporting to a medium security federal prison in Pensacola Tuesday to begin serving his 30-month sentence for lying under oath to protect his old boss. He was sentenced earlier this year after being convicted of providing false material testimony to a federal grand jury. Closing arguments in the trial of former Illinois basketball player Terrence Shannon Jr. in Douglas County, Kansas. The Chicago native is on trial on rape and sexual aggravated battery charges, accusing him of sexually assaulting a woman at a bar near the University of Kansas campus in Lawrence last September. Current men's basketball player Hunter Dickinson and former KU player Kevin McCullough Jr. took the stand this week. Group of University of Illinois cyclists pushing their bikes to the limit to fight cancer. Students in the Illini 4000 trekking across America, raising money. Cyclists began in New York City. They've already traveled more than 1,000 miles. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, good Friday morning. ESPN 93.5. It's our meteorologist Greg Solier now checking our weekend weather, brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you that kids' sports physicals is something they can do, as well as avoiding the rush for those school physicals. Get that done at a location near you. Visit carl.org for details.
That's Diane Ducey.
Morning.
I'm Stevie J. There's meteorologist Greg Solier. What nice looking skies. Just feels like a summer day, sir.
Yeah, humidity will be down. Storms, if you made it through okay, most certainly did. Came roaring on through here during mid-evening hours, generated anywhere between a quarter and a half inch of rain. You may have to kind of look around for the garbage cans and the lawn furniture in a few spots, and a little hail as well noted. But from a rainfall standpoint, just what the weather doctor ordered, something even-keeled, even over some of the drier reaches back to the west and northwest of us. And rains will be iffy and spotty at best. It's really an early season heat wave we need to be monitoring and planning accordingly here for the back end of the weekend and a good part of next week as well. Wouldn't be surprised if we get some triple-digit readings over some areas of the Corn Belt, central Midwest, as we move on through the next several days. So again, space them out, water them down on the livestock side in particular, and you try to do the same. 71 at Willard and Savoy right now, 69 Danville, same at Bloomington normal, 67 at Kankakee, 75 at St. Louis. Forecast high for the day today as humidity comes on down, a little patchy fog around still early this morning to about 87. We'll bottom out clear, a little more comfortable tonight, lows close to 60, some 50s in some of the outlying rural areas with a light northeast wind. Sunny, warm for the day tomorrow. Nice day, humidity in check and 86. But then comes Sunday afternoon after an isolated thunderstorm passes north and west. Hot and humid, mostly sunny, 94 there. 98 to locally 100 for the day on Monday with high humidity, oppressive humidity. Matter of fact, that'll be tough on overnight lows and the back 40 as well, with a high of 96 on Tuesday, 95 on Wednesday, holding up in the mid-90s next Thursday and Friday. Muggy overnight lows between 75 and 80, maybe an isolated thunderstorm as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting and meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right. Thank you very much, Greg. Appreciate it. ESPN 93.5. She is the last Republican in Baltimore, but we're always happy to have Nicolee Ambrose. How are you?
Stevie J, happy Flag Day.
Happy Flag Day.
Yes.
So Larry Hogan is running for Senate, and Donald Trump essentially endorsed him yesterday, and Larry Hogan essentially said, no, thank you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's about how you might expect things to play out with him here in Maryland.
Man,
yes,
oh man. Okay, so do you get any invites to anything? I mean, do people invite you to anything?
So I have to tell you, when I ran for Congress in 22, I think I claimed and might forevermore claim the only distinction of being the only person on the planet ever endorsed by both Donald Trump and Larry Hogan.
Wow, how'd you do that?
I know, right?
Wow.
I still don't know, but hey, I'll take it if it's the one unique qualifier.
Well, I didn't even know you ran in 22. So how many votes what percentage did you get?
You know, I won on election day. I did 40-60 in early voting, and then, 2 days after the election, they were like, "Oh, we found 60,000 extra mail-in ballots." So yeah,
Seriously?
fun times in Maryland.
That happened to you? Are you kidding?
Not kidding. Kidding.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
That's so bad.
It is bad. No. Mm-hmm.
Nicolee Ambrose, but the district had to be drawn heavy Democrat, wasn't it?
It had been redistricted to a D+7, but that is not how it appears with mail-in ballots these days.
Well, we doing anything about that coming up? I mean, you got to stop the drop boxes, the massive drop boxes. I mean, you don't know where they're coming from. It's just a simple observation. How do I know who dropped him in there?
No, you're absolutely right. And actually, Maryland's even probably worse than any state in the union. Anyone can order my ballot or Larry Hogan's ballot or anyone's ballot, because all you need is a name, address, and date of birth, which is on all voter rolls. So anyone can order your ballot. We have no signature match, no voter ID, no nothing. And you can have it sent to the Kremlin or faxed to a random number. So, yeah, we have absolutely no election integrity here whatsoever.
Okay, I got Maryland in the blue column. Thanks for telling me, Nicolai. Nicolai Ambrose, okay, so do I really have warships from Russia in Cuba? Or Cuba,
sure
depending on the West, East Coast calls them Cuba. So why are they not reacting? I don't get it.
All right, so this is not happening in isolation. This Russian fleet sailed 30 miles off the coast of the U.S. I mean, at the same time, G7 leaders, including Joe Biden, were boarding airplanes to fly to Italy to authorize that $50 billion loan to Ukraine based on, proceeds from Russian assets. And this was about a week ago, too, when obviously this fleet would have set sail, that the world learned that Joe Biden had authorized U.S. weaponry to strike inside Russia. Then Vladimir Putin responds on June 5th by saying, okay, come on in, foreign press pool. Let's have a press conference. And I'm telling you right now, Russia could provide long-range weapons to their allies to strike Western targets, the NATO allies, and then reaffirmed his readiness to use nuclear weapons, and then said that by the U.S. using our weapons in Ukraine, that necessitates the Russian Federation's direct involvement.
Okay, first of all, you can't do that. You're in my backyard. I have to react to that, don't I?
Right. So what we did, because you never know if Joe Biden's asleep or if he's going to react, right? That's the key to strong U.S. leadership, is that our allies can count on our enemies are afraid of us, right? In respect of which we have none of that since Joe Biden fled Afghanistan, since, Russia and China formed an official alliance, invaded Israel, and since China keeps aggressive towards Taiwan. So we have none of that, stable, reliable U.S. leadership. But surprisingly enough, the U.S. did send our own sub the following day to our U.S. base down there. So, and we probably expect a few more things to launch, and apparently our U.S. ships will be following around the Russia ships until they leave. But nonetheless, this is the most precarious situation we have been in since the Cold War.
Yeah, I know.
This is a Russian fleet in our hemisphere, right off our coastline, and with, obviously Vladimir Putin.
Yeah. Nicolai Ambrose on the Tapman Stone phone line. I referenced this yesterday. Now I got the clip. Do you ever see the movie Hoosiers?
I have. Great movie.
All right. This is the part that I was referencing yesterday regarding Russia in Cuba.
Look, mister, there's two kinds of dumb. A guy that gets naked and runs out in the snow and barks at the moon, and guy who does the same thing in my living room. First one don't matter. The second one you kind of forced to deal with.
Yeah, see what I mean? So he's in my backyard. I'm forced to deal with it. You can howl at the moon in the snow naked if you want, but it's got to be over in Siberia. But you can't do it in Cuba.
Right.
Can't do it in Cuba.
Right.
So
you can say that, and that's how we're used to U.S. leadership responding. But we are in such a scary time right now. November.
Nicolai, what if something happens in Taiwan? Do you trust what we would? I mean, what would we do? Who's calling the shots?
And let's have Joe Biden either running around not enforcing agreements or signing agreements he can enforce. Right?
Yeah.
We have a documented commitment to defend Taiwan. Right? That is documented U.S. policy on the books for decades. And we have Joe Biden in press conferences a few months ago trying to backpedal and say he might not defend Taiwan. At the same time yesterday, or maybe it was a few hours ago, depending on what continent you're in, we have Joe Biden, who just signed a 10-year security agreement with Ukraine, which obviously he's going to lose in November, we hope, in order to enforce that. So the problem is no one, not U.S. citizens, not our enemies, not our allies, can count on U.S. leadership right now for anything. And that makes it 10 times more dangerous and precarious for U.S. citizens abroad, much less in the homeland with the Russian fleet sitting right off our border.
Well, had I known you were running for Congress, I'd have told you, give me your neighbor's name. I'll just order the ballot and vote for it. What the heck? Nicolee Ambrose, how can people connect with you?
I am at NicoleeAmbrose.com, on Twitter at Nicolee Ambrose, Facebook at Nicolee USA, and I will be on Brian Kilmeade next Friday at 9:30 a.m. Central.
You have to listen to her. She's great. It's Nicolee Ambrose on the Tammons Towing phone line. Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Happy chatting. Happy Flag Day.
Happy Flag Day. You betcha. All right, check your sports headlines.
St. Louis Cardinals win over Pittsburgh 4-3. We're setting up a contest against the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley with a 1:20 start. You'll also hear the action over on US 105.9. Let's get your Redbird recap.
With Ricky Orton, I'm John Rooney, and yesterday at Busch Stadium, the Cardinals finished up 2 out of 3 over the Pirates by beating them 4-3, and the Cardinals were able to get to Mitch Keller for a couple of home runs, one by Paul Goldschmidt, and what turned out to be a game-winning home run by Brendan Donovan.
Really good work by the Cardinals bullpen. That was the difference in the game. John King came in first, gave up a couple of inherited runners, but then got a big double play, and then after that, several Cardinal relievers, including Roycroft, who got his first Major League victory, did a really nice job. The save went to Kittredge.
Now the Cardinals go to Chicago to play the Cubs. They won both games against the Cubs and will make up the rainout game right before the All-Star break, but Wrigley Field is always a wild place to go.
Well, you love the fact that Nolan Gorman, Nolan Arenado, and also Paul Goldschmidt have had some good moments during the homestand. Love to see all 3 of those guys hot in Chicago.
Including Brendan Donovan, who got the game-winning home run yesterday, 4-3 for the Cardinals. Today, it's Kyle Gibson against the Cubs. We're on the air at 12:25.
The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
Tampa Bay beat the Cubs 3-2 yesterday. Again, Cubs versus Cardinals.
Yeah.
What color are you wearing today? Red or Cubby blue?
I got my red on.
You do?
Cincinnati.
Oh.
Sorry.
And Jacob's been playing pretty well.
Yeah, well, they play Milwaukee.
Okay.
And that's a big series to try and bring Milwaukee back to the pack a little bit.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And Chicago White Sox beat Seattle in 10 innings yesterday. Florida over Edmonton in that quest for the Stanley Cup. Game 4 of the NBA Finals tonight.
A whole bunch to say about Terrence Shannon Jr.
Yes.
And he's not guilty. All that coming up. ESPN 93.5.
Okay, with those clusters of mid-evening showers and thunderstorms, anywhere between 1/4 and a 1/2 inch of rain, we can manage that. Hopefully you found the garbage cans, the lawn furniture, and everything else that might have gotten blown around in some of those thunderstorms yesterday evening time. Iffy and spotty and initial rainfall chances here in the coming days, and there's a heat wave building as well for the back end of the weekend, much of next week too. A little more comfortable as the day wears on today. Some patchy fog around early on this morning, then a sunny to partly cloudy sky. 87 the forecast high with a light northwest to north wind. Will bottom out tonight clear, cooler, less humid in 59. Tomorrow mostly sunny, warm, and 86 with a northeast to east wind. Will bottom out in the 60s tomorrow night. Maybe an isolated thunderstorm early on Sunday and a northbound warm front. Hot and humid for the afternoon, up to about 94, maybe 95 degrees. Upper 90s to near 100 Monday, mid-90s Tuesday and Wednesday, low 90s later next week with maybe a thunderstorm in the afternoon. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Take charge of the years ahead with a smart, sound investment strategy and business succession plan. Busey Bank's business and wealth management experts help you envision your best future with powerful insights and proven strategies. Building business and growing wealth since 1868. Busey Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stock futures are losing ground after the NASDAQ and S&P 500 rose to records yesterday. Adobe shares were up 14%. The software giant's earnings were better than expected, and it's raising expectations for the year. Adobe says it had a great first half of the year and expects to carry the momentum into the second half, helped by its generative AI, cloud computing, and productivity gains for its customers. Apple shares rose yesterday, pushing Apple to the market's most valuable company, topping Microsoft. Shares of luxury home furnishings retailer RH are down 11%. It lost more money than expected in the recent quarter. Now that shareholders have approved Elon Musk's $48 billion pay package, the issue returns to the court where it was tossed out. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. All right, so 723, Terrence Shannon Jr. found not guilty in a court of law. Only took 90 minutes to deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
So where does Terrence go to get his reputation back again? I mean, he was accused of this with no evidence of any kind. It wasn't a very due diligence kind of investigation going on.
Right.
And yet he had to sit out 6 basketball games, kept him from the All-American team, I'm sure. Had a wonderful year in spite of everything, with all this hanging over his head, not guilty. There was no evidence. There was no witness. There was no anything. It's what she said. And they said, well, maybe you were mistaken for no. And then they had a thread of text back and forth between the alleged victim and her friends. And then her friend said, you got his ass. With money emojis.
Yes.
With money emojis. That's disgusting.
Right. But there was some social media posts saying, I'm raising a boy. What kind of world do we live in where a victim can make these claims and not be out there and held accountable?
I mean, and yet, you know what it does? It just messes it up for the bad guys that do this. It messes up the credibility.
And the victims.
Well, the victims that lie...
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm saying, but the victims that say, I really was assaulted, going, well, sure, you want money, right? Yeah, so it just, these kind of things are just horrible. Now, it's horrible if he would have done it. It's horrible that she accused him and he didn't.
It's horrible all around.
But you lost.
Thank goodness he was acquitted.
I know, but 9 months. He wasn't going to get drafted. He was not going to get drafted in the NBA.
Can he sue the alleged victim?
I don't know. Anyway.
I'm sure he just wants to walk away from it.
The last thing he wants to do is go
NBA
back to
draft, baby. He's focused now.
I would make a prediction he will never visit Lawrence, Kansas ever again.
That's right.
He won't be in Douglas County, Kansas again. All right, the good news is he's probably going to go in the first round. He's going to have guaranteed millions of dollars. And he's found not guilty in 90 minutes. That's really quick.
Do you have a reaction? 217-359-2255 or Tapman's Towing phone line. We'd love to hear from you. I know Barry Lenny Jr. has locked in a guy from Ole Miss, Zachary Franklin.
No, it's Zachariah.
Zachariah? It's Zakhari.
I think he might be the number one receiver in America, most catches in a career, but he's coming up on his 6th year. But he used to play with our quarterback.
So
he's from Ole Miss.
He's got experience.
Well, he was, I don't think he played much last year. He had like 4 catches, must have got hurt.
I see.
But the previous 2 seasons, it was like Isaiah Williams, like 80 to 90 catches.
Right.
So he scored 30 touchdowns. I mean, he's the player. So that actually helps get that done. But he reunites with our quarterback because they played together at Ole Miss.
Okay.
So there's that. That's good.
Now, are we hearing NIL money about some of these football players?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I think, again, poor Shad Khan. You just have to go to Shad. Shad could make this happen. We could have the best baseball traveling club.
We could have the best everything.
Fencing and
I mean, he went to the U of I.
But it's just that
flexing game.
He's the only person everybody thinks of. Well, that's Johnny. See if Johnny thinks we could ask Shad for $100 million in a Vanguard fund. That would make us number 1 in America in NIL forever, because it would get 5 or 10% a year. So on your $100 million. You get 5 or 10 new million every year, and then you spend and grow it. And anyway, that's where we are with our NIL. Yeah, you get $20 million a year, and then you can have extra after that. $20 million is your budget, supposedly, in the NCAA. But then that's not enough for football. Football's getting chump change, man. Basketball gets the coin.
Right.
I mean,
speaking of that, we've got our starting 5, and we're talking about this revolving door. That's what makes it a challenge to get this $3,000 here from Stevie Jay Broadcasting, our presenting sponsor, Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Boy, it's kind of fun trying to go to StevieJay.com and think about when you're filling out this form of our starting 5.
You ought to do it. I mean, again, people are saying, I don't even know who's on the team. That's the point. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're guessing. And so Will Riley, who's a 6'8" Canadian kid.
When are we going to hear that he's locked in?
What's the date today?
It is the 14th, Flag Day.
I think we hear a week from Sunday.
I see.
So 23rd, and we're in there with Kentucky.
He's still casting.
Arizona. He's got his schools, but we bumped into the top 5, and Arkansas bumped out.
Okay.
So we're there. I'm hearing some hopeful. He's just I've seen his video, and I know that nobody ever sends a video reel that doesn't make all his shots, but the way he shoots it, contested, fadeaways, off the dribble, 3-pointers, he looks pretty 6'8".
So name the starting 5 thanks to U of I, Orange and Blue Golf Course, and Thomas & Eller's Insurance, too.
Yeah. By the way, U of I's got their big tournament this weekend. There's a whole bunch of fellas involved in that. Men and women, I saw.
And we've got, of course, Illini players in the U.S. Open. I didn't check that leaderboard.
I didn't see it after, but I did see early. They were all early, 3 and 4 holes, but we could look that up.
Okay.
Well, Tiger had +4, not so good. And Cantley and Rory McIlroy, -5, leading the U.S. Open.
Okay.
Pinehurst number 2. I think that's too low, man. You can't shoot a -5 in that course. They need to do something to toughen it up. That's a -20. Nobody can do -20 at the U.S. Open. It's supposed to be +2 for the winner kind of thing. You can't go all those birdies. Come on, man. I thought you made it hard. Come on. I'm going to trash talk the grounds crew. You can't keep golf course.
There you go.
Let's make it difficult. We want to see the biggest challenge at the U.S. Open. See what happens today. Could get windy. Who knows? All right, 7:29 is Friday. Call Brother Johnny. Got a host of things to ask him about. That'll be next. ESPN 93.5. When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is right here in Champaign-Urbana to help you select the right protection at the right price. Kurt will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. Just call him when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
A slap of the bat, high fives at the plate. They're all celebrated at Pia's Sports Bar and Grill after the game. Super beer specials, great drinks, big screen TVs, and fun food all await you at Pia's. Whether it be Pia's delicious wings, the big pork tenderloin, or Pia's famous Grand Slam or Slugger Burger, you'll find all your favorites available until 11 p.m. Chill out at Pia's in the beer garden and enjoy being served by a great staff. See you at Pia's, Springfield and Mattis, Champaign.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Reporters questioned President Biden at the start of the talks with the Italian leader at the G7 summit. Fox's Manuel Rivera.
The president took one question from reporters as that meeting began, whether he's snubbing British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. The president said no. He is expected to talk about artificial intelligence with Pope Francis, who is the first pope to participate in G7 talks.
The British leader, a hardliner illegal migration, faces uncertain future with the British election set for July. The response from the U.S. military.
Pentagon announcing it dispatched a submarine to Guantanamo Bay. The fast attack submarine USS Helena is in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, as part of a routine port visit.
That's to Russian warships in Cuba for military drills. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reporting. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Drama continues with the Champaign Unit 4 School District Board. At the end of Monday night's meeting, Board President Janina Baker announced during board comments her intention to censure fellow board member Betsy Holder, saying she's violated several principles of the board's code of conduct. When Baker asked if any other members support the censure, Board Vice President Heather Vasquez and member Bruce Brown had both stating their support. A man shot by police in Decatur last year, pleading guilty to armed violence. Stephen Herstein entered the plea this week, sentenced to 14 years in prison. Incident happened March 30th last year when officers responded to a report of a minor being threatened with a knife. Officers shot Herstein as he burst out of the bathroom of a home in the 400 block of East Orchard. Lytle Pool in Mattoon closing for the season. The closure comes as staff and contractors face an irreparable issue with the main pool pump. Without functioning pumps, important health and safety requirements cannot be met. The pool cannot be used. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
Check your weather with meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
They remind you, Yoga in the Park starts at 9 a.m. tomorrow. That's at the Garden Pavilion at Meadowbrook Park. And then after that at 10:30 is Zumba in the park. Have fun at Meadowbrook. Learn more details at urbanaparks.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. As expected, some clusters of showers and thunderstorms moving on through yesterday during the course of the early to mid-evening. Couple of reports of some hail and gusty winds. About a quarter to less than a half an inch of rain in the gauge. We can certainly manage that coming off the recent spells of heat. Heat will be down and humidity for the day today with a sunny to partly cloudy sky. Little patchy fog around early on this morning. Highs to about 87 with a light northwest to north wind. Clear, cooler tonight, less humid, and a low down to 59 with a light northeast wind. Tomorrow may start the day off with again some patchy fog early on. Sunshine and warmth with a high around 86. 60s tomorrow night. Here comes the heat and humidity for Sunday afternoon with a mostly sunny sky that may be nice with a thunderstorm early in the day. Highs at 94. Very hot, quite humid. Highs up 98 to near 100 on Monday. Maybe a thunderstorm here Tuesday at 96. Back up to 95 for the day on Wednesday. Low to mid 90s and a thunderstorm chance in the afternoon next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Well, Friday we call Brother Johnny. He's down in New Orleans. Johnny!
Good morning, Stevie. What's happening?
Well, Terrence Jannon Jr. found not guilty after just 90 minutes of deliberation from Lawrence, Kansas. So now the NBA draft will be his next focus in a couple of weeks.
Well, that's great.
It's good. I mean, but again, I had mentioned a few minutes ago, where does he go to get his reputation back?
Mm-hmm.
Because
he's been exonerated. I mean, that's bad, but at this point, I'd say celebration's in order.
Yeah, right. Well, look forward, I guess, to going. But what do we learn? I mean, does a big time player that shows up in a bar have to have guys around him constantly just to confirm he's not doing anything wrong?
Yes, probably. I'm afraid so. You just have to be aware of that's what's out there, and you get caught up in something like that. And he's actually very fortunate, Steve, because he did get to finish the season. Illinois was fortunate because we got to have him. And
well, I guess it brings up should we have suspended him without due process? After he sued, he got reinstated, but should the university policy change? So wait a minute, we got to make sure that we have due process for our athletes, right?
Yeah, I think that was a mistake, and I think they were kind of caught with it, and that's the way they interpreted the rules. And as soon as the
judge,
yeah. And then they immediately said, okay, because they were caught. So anyhow, we could go all's well that is well, I suppose.
Well, again, happy for him, but he went through 9 months of bad, and then this text thread that got introduced in court. I have no idea how they got it, but it was essentially the alleged victim's friend that's saying, we got him with money emojis, Johnny. What? Is a money grab? Is that, what?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Crazy. Anyway, it is good news. He'll be in the draft. They're talking about him being in the first 23 players or something. That's a lot of money. So
that's great.
Yeah, happy for him and happy for him to move forward. All right, here's another kind of a sports story, kind of a biggie. He'll like this.
The talk of the offseason for the Jaguars has been the contract of quarterback Trevor Lawrence. It appears fans can now focus on the upcoming season. Lawrence and Jacksonville have agreed on a 5-year, $275 million contract extension, according to multiple reports. The contract includes $200 million guaranteed, and the $55 million average salary ties Lawrence with Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow as the NFL's highest-paid player. According to ESPN, Lawrence is now the 6th quarterback to have an average salary above $50 million, along with Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and Burrow. Joe Morgan, Fox News.
Notice that Patrick Mahomes is not in that list.
Wow.
I mean, Johnny.
Well, it goes up every year. I mean, every time somebody's contract comes up, like Trevor, he's wanting to get what the last guy got, and maybe a little more.
Yeah, sure.
So that's how it goes.
Yeah.
And I remember when Joe Flacco got $101 million because Breeze just got $100 million.
Wow.
And
a 12-person jury.
Wow. Go ahead.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, dang it! I played quarterback flag football. I should have kept going.
No, we kind of dropped the ball on that, Steve.
Yeah,
it's hard to play at those levels, as you know.
Yes, it is, and it hurts a lot.
Well, and Trevor, look, he's a really important player. He got hurt, and that was it for the Jags last year.
Yeah, right. No, he
got his leg hurt, and he tried to play, but he was not able to plant, and it made that little bit of, you could say little bit, but he couldn't hit the passes that he was hitting all year till he got hurt.
Well, if you want to put it in perspective here, and if I did my math right, based on an hourly wage for 12 months, Trevor Lawrence makes $26,442 per hour.
How many hours is that?
That'd be 2080. That 2,080 in a year's work.
Yeah, okay.
That's $26,442.30 an hour. Man.
Go back to flag football. Maybe we should have the quarterback wearing black because they get hurt. It's we had a lot of quarterbacks go down last year.
Yeah. Well, and then you could say, well, who are your Super Bowl quarterbacks that you trust to be Super Bowl quarterbacks? I mean, you can go to, Josh Allen, I think, has that potential. Patrick Mahomes, of course. Joe Burrow, I would say for sure. I mean, who else would you say I'll bet the franchise on? I don't know if Dak Prescott is. They're talking about him getting that. I don't know. I mean, how do you know?
Well, I think Trevor Lawrence may be one of them. And
man,
a lot of them just come to, like Purdy. Purdy was a Super Bowl quarterback.
Yeah.
He wasn't, I don't think, in that class, but you can get there. And I'll tell you, it's the wonderful world of sport. Yeah. And when you put it into real life, it doesn't make any sense. But,
yeah, that's a whole lot of money.
It's kind of fun to talk about, and I guess if we want to spread the wealth, that's better than just handing it out to everybody so that money doesn't mean anything.
Right. Well, all right. So you've got that. Those are big news. I'd mentioned if Shad Khan wants to give $100 million to the University of Illinois, we could be number one in every sport. But anyway.
Well, actually, that's not true because you still have to do something with it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We got Will Riley, this new kid that we've been after in basketball, and he's I think he's 17, but he's going to reclass and maybe join NCAA. He's supposed to be a senior in high school coming up, but the guy's special, and we're recruiting him. We're in the top 5. He's going to decide a week from Sunday And that could mean, another superstar. I don't know. Brad's pretty good at puzzle working. So if he puts all these guys together, I think our talent level this coming year for basketball is going to be pretty up there.
Well, it already is. Yeah. I think the talent's there, and Brad's done a good job. It's the new way forward, but I just hope that kid doesn't do the 2-hat switch. I can't.
Oh, that was the guy from Kansas. He did that thing.
I don't remember.
It didn't work out. He didn't work out, but for Kansas, he didn't work out. But I remember that he had Illinois' hat, and then he changed it. Yeah. Boo.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a nuclear submarine at Cuba from Russia. You're president, Johnny. What would you do?
I'm just glad I'm not president, but I would kind of start talking to Putin and his men and say, you need to move that back or something. I don't. What's the skinny on it?
Well, since we were so involved in Ukraine, then they felt they can go to Cuba. So.
Well, okay. I mean, as long as they don't fire anything.
Yeah, but they're positioned to fire something. Cuban Missile Crisis kind of thing, or what is that?
It's uncomfortable. Yeah. But it's. What would I do? I'd probably call you and ask what should we do?
I could just wail on radio and say, you can't do that. I don't have to come up with any answers. You're in my face, you're in my space, and they're going to say you're in my space. I mean, right. And then, Johnny, who do you think's making the calls at the White House at this point? I mean, if China, God forbid, goes into Taiwan, who's making the call? What are we doing?
I don't know who's making the calls.
Is it possible it's more Joe Biden than I would have ever guessed?
It's possible because we don't know. I don't think it is. He doesn't act like he knows what's going on half the time.
Yeah.
But and then he tries to read things that he gets wrong because he doesn't even really know what they're trying to get him to say. It looks like. But who's making the calls? That's why I'd rather have somebody else in there. At least we'd know who it is.
Yeah. Okay, so Donald Trump met in Capitol Hill, first time he'd been there since January 6th-ish, and he met everybody. The Republicans appeared to be unified in this effort to hold the House and grow the Senate and get the Senate and have the president and all that. But apparently he talked to people behind closed doors, no reporters, and the word came out that he called Milwaukee a horrible city. And so there's that's what they heard. And apparently somebody had said that's a lie. He was referencing the crime and the election process in Milwaukee's horrible. So now the Democrats have put up billboards in Milwaukee today that Trump called Milwaukee a horrible city.
Well, what else have they got?
Yeah,
and
right.
There are horrible things about a lot of our cities, and but they've done this to Donald Trump ever since he came down the elevator. You remember when he said there's criminals? He said, and some of them, I suppose, are good people.
Yeah, right.
But they gave him no credit for that, talking about the immigration.
Yeah.
And saying we need to build a wall, and they hammered him on that. Remember when he said there were good people on both sides?
Yeah.
In South Carolina,
Charlotte, yeah,
and they just went crazy.
Yeah.
That he's a Nazi. He's a Nazi.
Right.
I mean, it does. If he just has a conversation, they can yank something like that and put up billboards, and they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's still a campaign against Trump, not for anybody. So once again, they're stuck without a candidate.
Brother Johnny on the phone. Brother Greg just said it is Donald Trump's birthday today.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, happy birthday, Mr. President!
And he's 78. Yeah. 78 years old.
Man.
Also Flag Day. People should fly their flags doing all that. Anyway, so yeah, we'll see. We got the what is today? 14. Mm-hmm. We got 2 weeks till the debate, Johnny.
Well, I'll tell you what. And how's Joe? 80?
He's 81, turning 82 coming up.
Yeah, that's listen, I can start to feel getting older, but in about 10 years, I don't know if I could take any of this.
Yeah, right.
That's amazing to me. Actually, both of them, Joe's barely hanging on, but Trump really is hanging in pretty good considering the onslaught he's had for the last 7 years. Should we
have an age limit?
I don't I don't think so.
No?
I mean, you could talk about that, but I wouldn't. Then you open that can of worms, and it'll be down to about 40. So I'd say no.
Well, we got an awful lot of 80-some-year-olds in the Senate that are just.
We need term limits. We always have.
Okay.
That was an original idea of our Constitution, but they couldn't even get it back then in 1770. So, but
the original founders wanted term limits.
Yes. Yes. You rotate in and out as a citizen, so you'll know what you're doing to the people, because you have to go back and live with what laws you made.
Yeah.
It's an old Roman Republic idea. Cincinnatus, Stevie.
Huh.
Cincinnatus was the first one that said we need rotating terms. And now we have Cincinnati.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, how are those Reds doing?
Well, they won. They beat the Cleveland Indians, very good team.
Okay.
Top 4 team, and they beat them.
That's a real good team. They can't you can't get them out.
No.
They don't strike out.
Yeah, I know. Foul ball, foul ball, foul ball.
So that's an interstate rivalry, obviously.
Yeah, they call it the Ohio Cup.
Ohio Cup.
Yeah, they got 2 more late in the season. Right now it's 1-1. Okay, so the Milwaukee Brewers, who are leading the Central by at least 6 or 7 games ahead of everybody, Reds go into Milwaukee for a 3-game series beginning tonight. So that's what I got.
Well, I mean, it's not even at the All-Star break, but that's a pretty big series.
No, you can't drift 10 out. You got to kind of win 1 or 2 of those. So
I think you need 2 games there, Steve, and then you're going to gain 1 on.
Yeah, that's it. No, right. Somebody needs to beat the Milwaukee Brewers. Shockingly, really good this year. I don't think anybody saw it coming after they lost Craig Counsell. Their manager went to the Cubs. So Cubs and Cardinals play this afternoon up in Wrigley. That'll be a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always.
And who took over for the Brewers? They've been a nagging pain for years now.
Yeah, the guy that is the manager up there, if you look at his face, he looks like he'd be from the Honus Wagner days. He has these really strong features, and he just looks like one of those Leo DeRocher kind of Pat Murphy, but his features are like crazy. He's an old-time looking guy that has just a real old-time baseball look, and I have no idea who he is, but he's obviously a good manager. Crazy.
Well, I mean, and I think the Central Division's a lot better than everybody thought. They just started out terrible. Everybody. And everybody's in second place, aren't they, Steve?
Yeah, no, about everybody's tied. No, it's kind of something's got to break. Somebody's got to break out a little bit.
Speaking kind of old-timey, Jerry West passed away this week at the age of 86.
Man.
That's the NBA logo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. And
the silhouette.
He played in those great games, Elgin Baylor, Wilt Chamberlain, and Jerry West against John Havlicek and Sam Jones and Bill Russell. I mean, those are some classic championships.
My favorite Jerry West story, as you know, Steve, is when he played against sixth-man Mike Ditka.
Yes.
When Ditka was in college at Pittsburgh.
West Virginia against Pitt, yep.
And Ditka said, after 7 minutes, I had 5,000. He had 12 points.
Well,
and Jerry used to say, if there were 6,000 in college, I wouldn't even be here.
Because he'd have been hurt. Yeah. I imagine Mike Ditka's fouls were pretty aggressive.
Yes.
Yeah. He had a tight end type of approach.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, that's right. But to foul out
Jerry West is one of the great ones. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
I remember watching him play, and back in the non-3-point days.
Was he a better general manager? I mean, he's the guy that traded for Kobe Bryant. He was in L.A. putting that team together, got Kobe on a trade, and got Shaq on a free agent.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty good move, Coach. Man.
No, he was, all the way through. Yeah, he was great. I guess he was 86. Somebody told me.
86 years old. Yeah. No, it's a legendary guy. And one of the guys, Stephen A. Smith, Jerry West, contacted Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith suggested that the logo change to Michael Jordan.
Huh.
And Jerry West said, hey, I'm not calling you because I'm mad. I'm calling you because I agree.
Okay.
And so they struck up a friendship, and we're friends since that time.
Well, this brings up other players like Wilt Chamberlain and Elgin Baylor back in
really
the day.
good. Those are the classic Celtic Lakers, and then that got revived from Magic Johnson, Larry Bird in the 80s. That was awesome. just to watch.
Actually, Steve, I don't think they should change it, and most people don't know it was Jerry West anyway. Thought it probably was Michael Jordan. It looks like one of his moves.
It doesn't matter, does it really?
Right.
No.
So not one of those.
No, well, how would you know who that was?
Right.
It looks like an NBA guy about ready to dunk it.
But when us older guys look at it, you're going, yeah, that looks like Jerry West's silhouette, because he was very, very good. Well, okay, we'll see what happens. We got the debate coming up between Biden and Trump. It's 90 minutes. That's quite a long time without a teleprompter now. But the expectations for him will be so low, right? I mean,
yeah, I think that it's going to be interesting. Whether Trump can chill. He was way too, animated the first debate when they debated, and it didn't go well really for either one of them. And I don't know how many viewers you're going to have on that, Steve. Any predictions media-wise?
I think it'll be a lot. I think there will be a lot. And then when you turn the mics off, it might actually help Trump because you won't talk over him. That might not be bad. They're turning the mics off when they're done. I think that's probably a good thing. Also, Donald Trump was interviewed by Isa Hashmi from Fox News Television, who we've interviewed here before, and he was a little different. They asked him about Hunter Biden, and he said, it's a horrible thing for a family. And as a father, it's terrible. And he was so empathetic, it was like, who is this? It's Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And then
Go ahead.
And then he said something about Larry Hogan, the governor of Maryland that opposed Trump in 16 and 20. He's running for U.S. Senate. Said, what do you think of Larry Hogan? He says, I want him to win. And Larry Hogan later said, I don't want him to support me. I'm good.
Right.
Because in Maryland, he's a Trump guy. He's a Trump guy.
When you search that, Stevie, all you get is Trump has endorsed, and it doesn't go on to say, but Larry Hogan doesn't necessarily want that.
Yeah, apparently it doesn't play well in Baltimore.
Right.
Yeah.
There has been a few texts coming in. Will Trump be debating on CNN?
Yeah, it's CNN.
Okay.
It's definitely on the road. This is a home game for Joe Biden. It's Jake Tapper on CNN. And Trump said anywhere, anytime, but man, that's not a home court.
Here's Larry Hogan as a rhino. Here's another one. If we're forced to vote for a really old guy, I'd rather vote for Mick Jagger. And he is a great shape.
Well,
listen,
there's no question as far as physically, nobody can jump on the stage like Mick Jagger. So there's that.
I'll tell you, it's amazing how these guys are still going. But I don't know, Diane. How long do you expect to live? Just as a general question.
Yeah,
I just wish there were some other options under 70. Personally,
well, and if you start thinking about retirement at 56 or 58, you got a whole nother life.
Yeah,
to live.
Right. What are you doing the next 40 years? Right.
Here's another person. He will not be debating Biden. He will be debating Jake Tapper. Is that the?
Well, there's no question. They'll protect.
I think that's right.
Yeah, they'll protect him.
I'm surprised he did it, but Trump, he's not going to back off. I wouldn't have debated Joe Biden. There's no point in it.
Well, remember,
everybody's tired of both of them.
Biden will come with whatever they do for the State of the Union. He'll be jacked, and so that's why Trump said, "I want you to take a drug test." So that's so funny.
I also see a lot of texts from earlier on when we were talking Terrence Shannon Jr. being innocent about all the lawyers and why did this go this far and should they be paying up? Because why are we even doing this? And where's the accountability?
Well, he had to get the best attorneys for sure. And the prosecution and the state's attorney of Douglas County, can't they decide whether to prosecute?
But this one is about the girl that was accused Terrence of doing this.
Yeah,
what about that state's attorney taking it all the way to the trial?
Yeah, I don't know.
When they
and if it was a sham, does she get any blowback? Probably not.
Yeah.
So, well, listen, we're never going to get it 100% right. We try. If we would just honestly try to do the right thing every day. My thing, Stevie, is if everybody would just think about would God like what I'm doing?
Yeah.
We would all be better off.
That's a great filter.
The perspective that's a really good
Well,
filter.
remember, we had the What Would Jesus Do? And that whole campaign. Right. It's the same. What is the right thing to do in the eyes of God? And there's less and less, I guess, doing that these days. Although maybe we have a revival going on because I do feel like there's more people locking in. Maybe.
I like the theme at the end of "Oh God" with George Burns.
Yeah.
Which was "Think God."
Mm-hmm.
That was on the buses and everything else, and it helped in the movie. It helped.
Yeah.
And they asked George, by the way, who was almost 100. He says, "What do you think about the role?" He says, "I guess I should be the one playing God. At my age, everything I do is a miracle."
Hey, all right, Johnny. Well, thanks for the chat. Always a pleasure. Talk to you next week.
All right, thank you, Diane and Stevie.
Have a good one.
Talking with you.
That's Brother Johnny on the Tapman's Towing phone line down in New Orleans. Weather brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
Reminding you, they're always there for you when it comes to outdoor projects and so many great ideas. Deals on windows, too, this month. All you need to do is hit up KramerSiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and vicinity. Hopefully made it through A-OK with those clusters of mid-evening showers and thunderstorms, anywhere between a quarter and a half inch of rain. We can manage that. Hopefully you found the garbage cans, the lawn furniture, and everything else that might again blown around in some of those thunderstorms yesterday evening time. Iffy and spotty and additional rainfall chances here in the coming days, and there's a heat wave building as well for the back end of the weekend, much of next week too. A little more comfortable as the day wears on today. Some patchy fog around early on this morning, then a sunny to partly cloudy sky. 87 the forecast high with a light northwest to north wind. Will bottom out tonight clear, cooler, less humid in 59. Tomorrow mostly sunny, warm, and 86 with a northeast to east wind. Will bottom out the 60s tomorrow night. Maybe an isolated thunderstorm early on Sunday and a northbound warm front. Hot and humid for the afternoon, up to about 94, maybe 95 degrees. Upper 90s to near 100 Monday, mid 90s Tuesday and Wednesday, low 90s later next week with maybe a thunderstorm in the afternoon. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
Orange and Blue Golf Courses in Savoy is your place for golf in the Champaign-Urbana area. Tee times, rates, outings, and employment opportunities are all found at uofigolf.com. The University of Illinois Golf Course was built back in 1950, and Orange and Blue hosts so many great golf tournaments. You'll love the friendly staff at the Orange and Blue courses near Willard Airport. Go Illini!
Jesse with Land's Underground Solutions here. Hey, we come across customers every single day that they've had one or two, maybe three companies there and have been told their sewer line or drain line's broke. The homeowner's getting ready to spend money and then they call us, we show up, we stick a camera in the line and we're able to show them the inside of the pipe what the problem really is. Then we can offer you solutions to deal with this and now you are in control of this decision. That is Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions' mission. Provide good, honest, upfront solutions to customers and let them make the decision.
Yeah. Students on the road with Terrence playing chanted "No means no." I mean, you knew some of that was coming. I think worse things as well. Do we get apologies from other universities? I think, again, people are looking at the NBA draft. It's over. He's innocent.
Yeah.
Exonerated.
And
all
happy
of that.
To close the chapter.
Man, that's
and
all.
Say, thank goodness he was innocent.
9 months, 10 months, that ordeal from the September, and then December is when we heard about them. All right, we're going to break. Come on back. Tapman's Towing phone line and the Fisher National Bank text line, 217-359-2255. 5 if you've got a comment. We'll be right back. It's 8 o'clock. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
The Pope joins world leaders. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and Pope Francis is the first one ever at a G7 summit. Meeting with him now in Italy.
He's going to give a keynote speech on the risk and potential of artificial intelligence. The Pope wants to see the technology developed for the good of humanity. It was the focus of his New Year's message. The pontiff is also making time for a few one-on-ones. Presidents Biden, Zelensky and Macron, plus Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, will hold private talks with Pope Francis.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. President Biden met earlier today with Italy's Prime Minister with migration, a big topic, the day after G7 leaders agreed to loan Ukraine $50 billion backed by frozen Russian assets, and the president signed a security agreement.
Our goal is to strengthen Ukraine's credible defense and deterrence capabilities for the long term.
NATO's leader just said that the alliance will assume a bigger role coordinating weapons supplies to Ukraine. Now, Russia's leader says he'll stop the war if Ukraine renounces its plans to join NATO. Another of Vladimir Putin's ceasefire demands for Ukraine to withdraw troops from Russian-occupied regions of the country. Former President Trump's meeting with House and Senate Republicans has led to a controversy over what he said about the city where he'll be nominated next month.
I love Milwaukee.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, one of many Democrats pouncing after former President Trump allegedly referred to Milwaukee as a horrible city during a closed-door meeting with House Republicans on Capitol Hill. Trump and his allies claiming his words were taken out of context while discussing crime and election integrity.
That's Fox's Ryan Schmelz. It's the former president's birthday. He's 78 today. A crime scene from 2018 will finally be cleared. Crews in Parkland, Florida will start demolishing the building today on the Parkland High School campus where mass shooting took place, killing 17 students and adults. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Now, while he's at the G7 summit, President Biden did discuss one domestic issue, his son Hunter's conviction on charges related to illegally buying a gun while an illegal drug user. The president told reporters he will abide by the jury decision and will not pardon Hunter or commute whatever sentence he gets.
I'm extremely proud of my son Hunter. He has overcome an addiction. He's one of the brightest, most decent men I know.
Now to Hunter-related stories. A Texas man is facing federal charges. Timothy Mueller accused of threatening an FBI agent who was investigating the data on Hunter Biden's infamous laptop. The president's son left at a Delaware computer shop. The assorted contents on it were a big issue right before the 2020 election, pushed then by then-Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani. Hunter Biden later sued Giuliani over it. Now that's being dropped.
Biden's lawyer, Abby Lowell, filed the stipulation for dismissal Thursday, asking the court to dismiss the lawsuit against Giuliani and the former mayor's ex-lawyer, Robert Costello, without prejudice. The government used data taken from the laptop to prove its case that Hunter Biden was addicted to crack cocaine when he bought a revolver in Delaware. The motion to dismiss the suit must be approved by U.S. District Judge Jessica Clark before it's finalized. Hunter Biden was convicted of 3 felony counts Tuesday related to lying about his drug use when he purchased the gun back in October of 2018. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
A Dow sell-off is brewing on Wall Street. Futures down almost 300 points. NASDAQ futures are also falling the day after another record high close. Same old at hockey's Stanley Cup final.
The vintage finish for the Florida Panthers. They
That's the defense stopping Edmonton's comeback attempt in a 4-3 win over the Oilers on ABC, giving the Panthers a 3-0 series lead. Florida can win the Cup tomorrow night in Game 4. Round 2 at golf's U.S. Open is underway this morning in North Carolina. Rory McIlroy had a bogey, so he's now one shot back at the leader, Patrick Cantlay. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Longtime Chief Staff of former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan behind bars. Tim Mapes reporting to a medium security federal prison in Pensacola Tuesday to begin serving his 30-month sentence for lying under oath to protect his old boss. He was sentenced earlier this year after being convicted of providing false material testimony to a federal grand jury. Closing arguments in the trial of former Illinois basketball player Terrence Shannon Jr. in Douglas County, Kansas. The Chicago native is on trial on rape and sexual aggravated battery charges, accusing him of sexually assaulting a woman at a bar near the University of Kansas campus in Lawrence last September. Current men's basketball player Hunter Dickinson and former KU player Kevin McCullough Jr. took the stand this week. Group of University of Illinois cyclists pushing their bikes to the limit to fight cancer. Students in the Illini 4000 trekking across America, raising money. Cyclists began in New York City. They've already traveled more than 1,000 miles. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
I check your weekend weather. Our meteorologist is Greg Solier, brought to you this morning by Busey. For over 150 years, member FDIC. Well, sir, it's summer. It's Flag Day, June 14th.
Yes, as a matter of fact, we have the Champaign County Freedom Celebration doing a fundraiser in front of Logic today. A little warm. I hope they stay hydrated. I'll be out there from 3 to 6 taking donations.
Awesome. Okay. Well, what are we seeing in our weather for the weekend, sir?
Well, guys, Diane will be out there with readings probably into the upper 80s at some point here over the mid to late afternoon, and the humidity, which is in the dew point values, which are still elevated in the mid to upper 60s, will ease on down. So as the day wears on, a drier, more comfortable feel expected. We'll stay warm for the front part of the weekend, turn hot and humid over the back end of the weekend, and it's an early season heat wave weather pattern that may send readings pretty much close to the century mark in some areas here across the Central Corn Belt between Monday and Tuesday of next week, and no real relief in sight through next week as well. Maybe popping a stray shower or thunderstorm through daytime evening, all we can come up with. So the rains that we picked up with, and hopefully you're able to find the patio furniture and the garbage cans okay. Picked up anywhere between 1/4 and a half inch of rain on that fast moving stuff. That was very much an easy to take rain by itself. 74 now at Willett and Savoy, 73 Danville, 71 Rantoul, later today 87 with a warm day. Again, lowering humidity throughout the day on a bit of a northwest to north breeze. Clearing and cool weather tonight, cooler, less humidity in the air. Better sleeping, 59. Tomorrow mostly sunny, warm at 86. But the heat is on and humidity climbs quickly. Sunday afternoon, maybe a thunderstorm passing north and west of us at 94 the high. On Sunday, close to 100 on the bank and barn and vehicle thermometer. Monday afternoon, oppressive humidity as well. That'll keep readings at night pretty uncomfortable around here with mid and upper 70s at night. Daytime readings in the mid 90s on Tuesday and Wednesday, low to mid 90s next Thursday and Friday. Maybe a thunderstorm in the air, and that's it. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
ESPN 93.5. Thank you so much, Mr. Greg Solier. It is Flag Day. Trying to get a little money raised for the Freedom Celebration, which is, golly, less than 3 weeks away. Mike Coble, are you out there at Logic?
Good morning. We're here.
All right. So what do you want people to do?
We want people to come by and pick up a flag because it's Flag Day, and we'd love for them to give us a little folding money to help things keep them going.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't take over 1,000 from anybody, right?
Well, if you come by.
There you go.
All right, this is the pay for everything. We want to have a celebration for Champaign-Urbana, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We collect money each year, and then that funds the following year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
As far as the Champaign County Freedom Celebration and our party plans around Memorial Stadium and the State Farm Center, can you run down the 4th of July for us, Mike?
Absolutely. We start with the 5K run at 8. What time is it?
9:05.
I got to check with Gus. He's sitting here next to me. Yeah. Gus and Evelyn are here. We've been chit-chatting.
Okay, good.
And so 9:05 is the 5K run and race. Parade starts at 11:05. The evening program starts at 6 this year. That's something new. We're going to kick off things 1 hour earlier. And traditionally, the fireworks at 9:15.
Well, since you said Evelyn's there, is she handy or is she taking donations right now? I'd love to talk the parade with her a minute.
Well, she brought some really neat-looking breakfast items that she's working on, but I'll hand you the phone.
Okay.
Hold on a sec.
Thank you. I'm on the Champaign County Freedom Celebration myself, the committee. Hi, Evelyn. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Fine. How are you?
I'm good. I know Alvin Decker from Philo is one of the people that we're spotlighting as a fourth-generation farmer from Philo, and we're kind of spotlighting agriculture as our grand marshal and our theme as America celebrates the pride of the heartland. Right, Evelyn?
Correct.
Well, I'm glad to hear that we have some marching bands and things like that, too. Can you highlight things for the Champaign County Freedom Celebration Parade on the 4th of July at 11:05?
Yes, we have 2 bands so far. Looking for any other bands that would be willing to march. We have about 45 entries at this point in time, and they look like they're being added daily. So looking for more of those. Anybody available, go to the website and register.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coordinating that. I know July4th.net is how you can register and get in on that. I appreciate you being out there taking donations today. Is it going well? You're only an hour in.
Only an hour in. We're all set up at South Neal and St. Mary's Road, and I got a trivia question. An extra flag for the person that comes by and tells me what the restaurant was at the corner here. It was Snacks Fifth Avenue, then Snacks Park Avenue, but I want to know the name of the Mexican restaurant that was last here before the building came down.
I remember that, but I have no idea. I do remember it was Mexican, though. I do remember it was Mexican. I don't think it was tremendously popular at the point.
Right.
No, well, I'm looking at a grass lot, so it must not
right.
be.
That's exactly right.
So, if you do get that answer, I'd be curious if somebody does come by and tell you after Snacks.
I remember Snacks.
Then the Mexican restaurant, what the name of that was, and 359-2255.
All right, bud. Listen, go get them. Waste some money, Mike. We appreciate your time.
Hey, I want to thank Logic for letting us set up in the parking lot. We're at South Neal and St. Mary's Road. Come see us.
You betcha. That'd be Nolan Atkins.
That's right.
The Atkins own that.
And Napoli's is the restaurant there, or Napoli's.
Is that the new one, right?
Yeah.
And
it's homemade. And the
pasta, right?
Yeah, my waiter spoke Italian and everything. He was really good.
Food?
Yeah, sure.
Tell him to give me a Stever. Let's go.
Exactly.
Let's get with them.
And, of course, some generous sponsors have already stepped up. In Busey, Meyer, Champaign Media Group, of course, our Stevie Jay broadcasting stations, and CUMTD. So thank you, and July4th.net for details.
All right, we'll see what happens in baseball, but the Cardinals did win yesterday.
With Ricky Orton, I'm John Rooney, and yesterday at Busch Stadium, the Cardinals finished up 2 out of 3 over the by beating them 4-3, and the Cardinals were able to get to Mitch Keller for a couple of home runs, one by Paul Goldschmidt, and what turned out to be a game-winning home run by Brendan Donovan.
Really good work by the Cardinals bullpen. That was the difference in the game. John King came in first, gave up a couple of inherited runners, but then got a big double play, and then after that, several Cardinal relievers, including Roycroft, who got his first Major League victory, did a really nice job. The save went to Kittredge.
Now the Cardinals go to Chicago to play the Cubs. They won both games against the Cubs and will make up the rainout game right before the All-Star break, but Wrigley Field is always a wild place to go.
Well, you love the fact that Nolan Gorman, Nolan Arenado, and also Paul Goldschmidt have had some good moments during the homestand. Love to see all 3 of those guys hot in Chicago.
Including Brendan Donovan, who got the game-winning home run yesterday, 4-3 for the Cardinals. Today, it's Kyle Gibson against the Cubs. We're on the air at 12:25.
Well, it means no drive today. Because we got Cardinal and Cub baseball.
Yes.
It's always fun.
So
to have the Cardinals
121st pitch over on US 105.9 for you Cubs fans. Jose is saying El Toro, but I don't think El Toro was a thing back in the day.
No, I don't think.
After Snacks.
No, Snacks was like Lon Kruger, late 90s, early 2000s.
That's right. Interesting. 359-2255 if you want to keep that going. Chicago White Sox win over Seattle. We also have a lot of great news. I mean, Terrence Shannon Jr. being acquitted. Now focusing on the NBA draft.
Yeah.
I mean, it's huge. Go Illini Nation. And Zachary Franklin from Ole Miss, recruited by Illinois'
Luke
Barry
Altmaier
Jr.
I think was on the same team as this guy, but I think he also If I heard Jeremy Warner from Atlanta Inquirer correctly, he's the number one receiver in college football. It's his 6th year. So he had a medical thing and a COVID thing. And so you got an older guy that can catch a football. And I think he scored at least 27 to 30 touchdowns or something. So this is a significant get. So good for them.
It'll be here before you know it. That's a 8 o'clock start against EIU at the end of August. And it's great to see some of the summer camps that have been going on now. I know they were working early evening because of the heat schedule that they had to have. NHL action and that quest for the Stanley Cup. Panthers are up 3-0 now with their 4-3 win over Edmonton. They'll play again tomorrow. And game 4 in the NBA with the Celtics up 3-0 over the Mavericks. That game is at 7:30 tonight. Women's basketball team have a foreign trip they're taking this summer, and that's good to see. Speaking of some of our Fighting Illini lady athletes, Rose Yeboah is the Big Ten Field Athlete of the Year. She's the one that had that 6'5.5" record leap that qualified her for Paris and the Olympics. When she goes, she'll be representing her home country of Ghana.
Okay. So 6'5.5" or something, high jump. It's
that's
really
right.
up there, yeah.
Big time.
Yep.
So that's really some of the trends we touched on when we were talking with Johnny was Shad Khan forking out some money for Trevor Lawrence.
$55 million a year. That's $275 million over 5 years. $200 million is guaranteed if he doesn't take another snap. He gets $200 million.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Okay.
The decisions we make today and throughout our life impact our financial future. Home ownership is among the top financial decisions, but is it a right situation for you? Busey celebrates American Housing Month here in June. Busey recommends you consider 5 things before making that decision. Time. How long do you plan to stay? Experts recommend at least 3 years if you plan to purchase. Risk. Are you financially secure to weather a drop in home prices? Prices right now are so high. It doesn't come back down and you get caught in the middle. But if you want to buy a house, get into the right number. People are bidding on these houses in that $250 to $350 range are bidding wars.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not enough inventory.
Not at that range, no. Consider how much you can afford, how much you've saved. Experts recommend saving at least 20% of your home's purchase price. Experts recommend saving at least 20%. Mortgage rates, research online, get in touch. Heck, they're at least 7, I think, these days. And listen to your heart. If you're ready for your home ownership time, check your credit score. Busey provides credit report consultations. Bankers will guide you every step of the way. Pre-qualified and pre-approval is good. Then you know what you're doing. You get in there saying, I can buy this. Yeah. We can do it now. Ready to take that next step? Partner with Busey for the resources you need to turn your dream of home ownership into reality. Call 800-67-BUSEY. Ask which mortgage loan program is right for you or visit Busey.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Hey, you still want to go on the Cardinal bus trip? I've got 2 seats left.
Okay.
If you want 2 tickets, we can do it. 217-359-2255, June 22. That's a week from Saturday, a week from tomorrow. Right?
It is.
So you're going to St. Louis, 9 a.m. from First Christian Church. We thank them at Curtis and Staley for allowing our guys to park there all day. 9 a.m. on the Timmy Tours bus. Got to give you that driver tip money, too. And then you go down to St. Louis. We'll whisk you to St. Louis.
Yes.
You'll park on Poplar Street, I think it is.
That sounds right.
And then I got to tell you also that the bus driver just tells our call letters, and they'll have it on a list. I don't have a ticket this year. I think I had a ticket before. But just tell them we're at WSJK, ESPN, and they'll park you right in there.
Very good.
Then you'll walk in together probably because it's only 150 feet. And then you'll go up the ramp. And our suite is 215. All the beverages, all the food, drinks, everything's included.
Mm-hmm.
All suite bus. If you're interested, simply text in BUS, BUS, and we'll give you details on the final 2 tickets we have. All right, ESPN 93.5 coming up on 8:19. Meteorologist Greg Solier on our weekend of weather.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and Van Ness vicinity. As expected, some clusters of showers and thunderstorms moving on through yesterday during the course of the early to mid-evening. Couple of reports of some hail and gusty winds, about a quarter to less than a half an inch of rain in the gauge. We can certainly manage that coming off the recent spells of heat. Heat will be down and humidity for the day-to-day with a sunny to partly cloudy sky. That'll patchy fog around early on this morning. Highs to about 87 with a light northwest to north wind. Clear, cooler tonight, less humid, and a low down to 59 with a light northeast wind about tomorrow may start the day off with, again, some patchy fog early on. Sunshine and warmth with a high around 86. 60s tomorrow night. Here comes the heat and humidity for a Sunday afternoon with a mostly sunny sky. There may be nice with a thunderstorm early in the day. Highs at 94. Very hot, quite humid. Highs up 98 to near 100 on Monday. Maybe a thunderstorm here Tuesday at 96. Back up to 95 for the day on Wednesday. Low to mid 90s and a thunderstorm chance in the afternoon next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stock futures are under pressure after the Nasdaq and S&P 500 closed at records on Thursday. Both indexes have closed at records for the last 4 sessions, even though the Federal Reserve signaled this week it wasn't in a hurry to cut interest rates despite cooling inflation. Jeep's parent company Stellantis is shifting some electric vehicle production out of China because of European Union tariffs on Chinese-made EVs. Stellantis is producing cars in China with a local partner, Leaf Motor. More than a dozen Wells Fargo staffers have been fired for allegedly faking keyboard movements using devices to make it seem like they were working. MarketWatch says several of the employees were working in hybrid and remote jobs. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
I'm Ben Domenech, Fox News contributor and editor of the Transom.com daily newsletter, and I'm inviting you to join a conversation every week with the smartest thinkers out there about the issues Americans face and where we're going as a nation. This show will feature deep dive interviews with newsmakers and some of your favorite Fox News analysts. I hope you'll join me as we dive into the fray. It's the Ben Domenech Podcast.
Subscribe and listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you download podcasts.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck, duck, goose because you'd do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Tavis Towing reminds all Illini fans, when you're on the road and see lights flashing, move over and use caution passing. Let's all get home safe tonight.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands, including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars. They're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
What is most important to you in your life? This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients like you realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
I think Mike Kolb started something when he said, name that restaurant. And we started thinking about restaurants that we used to enjoy. And I think one of my favorites that's gone is, does anybody remember Aunt Sonia's?
Oh, yeah.
Anybody remember Uncle John's?
Yes.
Uncle John's is before Aunt Sonia's.
Okay.
Same location, but it was always called UJ's. And I did a remote broadcast on radio in 1979. And it was a pancake eating contest at Uncle John's. Maybe it was Aunt Sonia's, but I think it was Uncle John's. Anyway, we were there, and there were probably 30 people eating as many pancakes as they could. And as you remember, those pancakes are filling.
Yeah.
And in my prime, on all-you-can-eat Tuesday night pancake night at Aunt Sonia's, I could eat 11. That was it. Johnny did 14. So we're sitting there. Everybody in the competition could do 20 at least.
Wow.
And when I left the building, when it was all over, one guy had eaten 45.
No.
He had rolled them up and chased them down dry with orange juice.
I mean, that's like the chestnut dude, and he's been trending this week because of the Nathan's.
He couldn't eat beef anymore, right? Something like that.
Right, and so he's not able to compete on the 4th of July.
That's what I hear. He can't do veggie burgers or something, veggie hot dogs. Anyway, so the guy had 45, and he chased it down dry with orange juice. The woman had 44.
You're kidding.
She weighed 120 pounds, and she consumed 44 pancakes with butter and syrup. And I watched it. I said, how can you do butter and syrup? Anyway, the guy won season tickets to Mike White's football team 1980, I guess.
Okay, well, that's a pretty good prize.
Not to both be laying in the booth when I left them. They were laying down in the booth, couldn't move.
Okay.
Because it's kind of, pancakes land like
I know.
light as an anvil. It's, anyway.
I had some yesterday at Marianne's. Pancakes are the bomb.
They're really good, but yeah.
But yeah, Joey Chestnut, I just looked it up, 16-time champion. And they have 10 minutes to consume all those hot dogs.
That's crazy.
And buns. They dip them in water. They've got
but what kind of money can you make doing that work? Because you're
competitive eating?
Yeah, but you're trending your stomach. I don't think you can fix that. I mean, you're giving that up. I don't know. Right? It isn't that much money.
Right.
And I presume you vomit at the end, right?
I don't know.
It's gross. Ugh. Anyway, so
76 hot dogs was the
in 10 minutes
Guinness World Record.
with the bun.
Yeah,
with the bun. So they soak them in water. It's gross. It's just not even.
What are we doing?
I have no idea.
Why do we put that on the 4th of July?
I don't know. Yeah, why do we run with the bulls in Pompeo? Why do we have bulls horn us in the butt? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Anyway, by the way, this is just a random. Leah Thomas, the guy who started swimming with the women and got Riley Gaines kind of out there talking.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the Olympics have said, no, you cannot compete in the women's.
Okay.
However, they said you can have your own category.
Okay.
And
that's what we were suggesting.
Nobody did it. Not one transgender wanted their own category. They want to compete with the women because they identify as women. And so they're not going to be in the Olympics, which I'm all for that.
Right.
Okay.
And, all the Title IX progress that we've made over the past couple of decades, it's just shot out the window,
well, if you have
right?
transgenders streaking around smoking the women by 50 yards in a 400, are you supposed to clap on that? Your daughter got second, but really got first. Anyway, it's head shaking. I'm just happy they're not in the Olympics. I don't have your own category. I think it's totally fine, but you should not compete men and women built differently.
Here's another thing that's trending right now. Indiana Fever star rookie Cartland Clake pushed back against online commenters who have used her name in discussions to denigrate the WNBA players, saying any racist or misogynic statements and comments are not acceptable. She just doesn't want to be a part of pushing any agendas like people are.
I think Caitlin Clark wants to play basketball.
Yeah.
I think she they're beating her up kind of an initiation jealousy and all those other things. And there have been a lot of commentaries about, what are you guys doing? This is going to make you richer. You'll get chartered jets instead of the buses. What are you doing? And it's just one of those deals where I've been in the league 7 years. Nobody gave me one look. And then it started into, because I'm black and she's white. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I think it's an amazing gift to women's basketball, Caitlin Clark.
Right.
Embrace it. Go with it. There are people coming to watch you now. The Olympics made a mistake because whether she's the top 12 or not, she's number one in attendance. Everybody would watch the Olympics with her playing.
Yep.
So accept that. What? I don't know. Human.
Right.
We're just human.
Yeah, to just knock the top person down.
I don't know.
I hate that.
I don't know. She'll learn. She's a rookie. Okay. 829. Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. As much as I did my research, he has a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people. Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
News. I'm Therese Crowley. The President, the Pope, and the Prime Minister topping today's G7 meeting in Italy. Conservative Giorgia Meloni greets first-time G7 Speaker Pope Francis. The Catholic President Biden gets a one-on-one. The three disagree on summit issues of migration and abortion access. House Speaker Mike Johnson talking about a new energy after Donald Trump's first Capitol Hill meeting with Republicans since leaving office. Trump agrees, telling Fox.
Great meeting. There's tremendous unity in the Republican Party.
On this Flag Day, the story of a California middle schooler expelled from Catholic school for violating their Christian code by refusing to take out patriotic references in a speech. Jimmy Hayward tells Fox.
I know that I stood up for what was right, and I don't get how anybody could think that what I did was wrong and how standing up for America is wrong.
America is listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Longtime Chief Staff of former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan behind bars. Tim Mapes reporting to a medium security federal prison in Pensacola Tuesday to begin serving his 30-month sentence for lying under oath to protect his old boss. He was sentenced earlier this year after being convicted of providing false material testimony to a federal grand jury. Closing arguments in the trial of former Illinois basketball player Terrence Shannon Jr. in Douglas County, Kansas. The Chicago native is on trial on rape and sexual aggravated battery charges, accusing him of sexually assaulting a woman at a bar near the University of Kansas campus in Lawrence last September. Current men's basketball player Hunter Dickinson and former KU player Kevin McCullough Jr. took the stand this week. Group of University of Illinois cyclists pushing their bikes to the limit to fight cancer. Students in the Illini 4000 trekking across America, raising money. Cyclists began in New York City. They've already traveled more than 1,000 miles. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
Check your weather, ESPN 93.5. It's brought to you this morning by Kurt Lenschow at State Farm Insurance. We had a commercial a few moments ago about life insurance. I think you ought to look into that.
Exactly.
It'd really give you some peace of mind. Also brought to you by Watts Copy Systems. If you want a free, no cost estimate on maybe saving money for your office, Watts Copy System, 217-352-0428 for Watts Copy System, locally owned and operated, and also employee owned. It is 8:33.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana Vicinity. Hopefully made it through A-OK with those clusters of mid-evening showers and thunderstorms. Anywhere between a quarter and a half inch of rain. We can manage that. Hopefully you found the garbage cans, the lawn furniture, and everything else that might have been blown around in some of those thunderstorms yesterday evening time. Iffy and spotty and additional rainfall chances here in the coming days. And there's a heat wave building as well for the back end of the weekend, much of next week too. A little more comfortable as the day wears on today. Some patchy fog around early on this morning, then a sunny to partly cloudy sky. 87 the forecast high with a light northwest to north wind. Will bottom out tonight clear, cooler, less humid in 59. Tomorrow mostly sunny, warm, and 86 with a northeast to east wind. Will bottom out the 60s tomorrow night. Maybe an isolated thunderstorm early on Sunday and a northbound warm front. Hot and humid for the afternoon, up to about 94, maybe 95 degrees. Upper 90s to near 100 Monday, mid 90s Tuesday and Wednesday, low 90s later next week with maybe a thunderstorm in the afternoon. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solje.
All right, we are in the last half hour of the program. There is a Cub-Cardinal game on both of our stations. US 105.9 carries the Pat Hughes broadcast on US 105.9, home of the Chicago Cubs. And here, where you're listening now, ESPN, home of the Cardinals, 93.5. At the Cardinals, you'll have John Rooney and Ricky Horton. Cubs-Cardinals, it's you got Milwaukee, and then you got four teams, the Reds, the Pirates, Cubs, and Cardinals, and they're all kind of chasing Milwaukee. And somebody kind of is going to break through the pack here because they're all about the same record. Cardinals are one game under 500. That's as good as they've been in a minute, so it's pretty good. But somebody's got to catch Milwaukee, and I hope the Reds can ding them a little bit over the weekend because they kind of need to. Somebody needs to bring Milwaukee back to the pack. So we'll see what happens with that.
So I'm wearing my Champaign County Freedom Celebration shirt because we've got Flag Day today, and we're handing out small flags to those who donate to the Champaign County Freedom Celebration. They're at 1807 South Neal Street at Neal and St. Mary or Fox Drive in front of Logic Co-working. We appreciate them. And so underneath, Stevie, I have my Cubby shirt on here.
You got the whole thing going on. I got her on the camera.
Because if people say, hey, Diane, are you rooting for the Cardinals or Cubs?
You got them both going on.
I do. I'm ready for that. And the Cubs are over on US 105.9. So I'm ready for that. Speaking of that, we had Mike Coble on. He's been with the Champaign County Fair, the Fire Institute for years. Just a great guy who's on the Freedom Celebration Committee, too, volunteering his time. And he had mentioned he's going to give a prize or something to someone who says...
Who said extra flag.
Extra...
That's fine. But he wanted to know what restaurant after Snacks Fifth Avenue, there was a Mexican restaurant.
Right. So I did get a text in about Fiesta Ranchera.
I've never been there.
And it was, there's a link to that. And I wanted to see if there was any years on there. Because, of course, now it's leveled. That's where we're doing our drive-thru.
Wasn't there Jiffy Lube next to it? Or is that still there?
There is.
Is there still a Jiffy Lube?
That's still Jiffy Lube.
That's right at Neal and St. Mary's.
That's right.
That's where Logic is behind there. But if you had Fiesta Ranchero building still there, you wouldn't see Logic. Because that building was right in front, and I remember going to Snacks.
So that's where we're taking the donations anyway. So that's why, and I appreciate Gus giving me that information. So, but it's still, someone else had texted who's out there saying that just doesn't sound right. I just heard you confirm it, so it must be correct.
I just remember the reason it was torn down is I never went. And neither did you. So
right.
I remember it vaguely. They turned it in. But I remember Snacks.
But we have 3 texts saying El Toro, but I just don't. I think that was before the El Toro
It was
chapter.
before the family came in. Yeah. And anybody ever go to the Bombay Bicycle Club?
Yeah, baby. I was the DJ out there.
I mean, maybe once for me. Maybe.
What?
Maybe once. It's out there near Cracker Barrel,
my
right?
first reaction, 2 words, meat market. And because I was the DJ, I had people asking for slow songs and, paying me to play that next. The lady in red
oh boy,
is dancing with me.
I think I might have aged out of that one. But other stuff.
People have stories about Bombay Bicycle Club. I also had Mark Dudek. Did you ever meet him?
He worked with us.
Oh,
I remember him.
Well, he was a K104 guy.
Yeah, but he did talk at DWS.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. He came in and was there for a bit.
I think he had a police chapter, too. I don't know what he's doing
I don't know.
now.
I think he's a Chicago guy.
Okay.
And he was always trying to get to WGN. I do remember that.
But he used to DJ out there, too, I think.
I never did that. I did the Poison Apple. That was way cooler.
Poison Apple.
Poison
That's
Apple.
A throwback.
Anybody remember the Poison
Downtown
Apple?
Champaign with the tumbleweeds.
Wasn't that in the old Woolworths building? Wasn't Woolworths?
I think it was.
And they had my name in lights, and I was like 19 years old. And I felt
There's
like
Stevie J with the great big afro coming your way all the albums under your arm.
I had
probably.
all in a big box.
Okay,
yeah, box was heavy with albums.
DJing with the vinyl.
It was particularly hard when we had teen night and Stevie J was spinning the records when the heat wouldn't work. In the dead of winter with the snow, it was at least.
Where you're going on teen
We had coats on and it was 55 degrees. There's 7 people there. It was really rough.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had the teen night duty a few times at Bradley's back in the day, DJing.
Kind of go downstairs to get in there.
That's right.
I've been there once.
And see, I DJ'd at this Sunlight, where the Art Coupe used to be, off 5th and Green or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man.
Well, remember Green Street had Reeve Sori. Anybody know that name? Reeve Sori taking tickets at the Coed 1 and 2. Coed theaters are down right on Green Street, right across from Mia's Oz.
Right.
There used to be 2 movie theaters.
It used to be Mabel's back in the day, but that
Mabel's
turned into Brothers.
Well, Mabel's on the other side.
On the other side.
Coed had 2 movie theaters. Reeve Sori took tickets. Reeve Sori was a superstar offensive lineman for the Chicago Bears. He was taking tickets as a lineman for Illinois back in the day when you needed to work. And so the co-ed theaters, remember the Country Fair had the Fox Theater?
Yeah.
That was right in the middle of that.
I've been there. Here's somebody saying Panama Reds back in the day was my spot with pork and the Havana Ducks.
Oh, yeah. Operator, put me through to Decatur. He was a good dude. I like Pork. He was a nice guy.
I saw a rock and roll group called the Hounds. They were amazing before they turned it into Studio One. So we're really getting retro at 359-2255 if you want to get in on the Townie Talk. I had a substitution DJ gig at El Crackers, or Crackers is what we called it back in the day at EIU.
I remember El Crackers. People were taking disco lessons there.
That's right. Yeah. And see, you'd come out of Crackers on EIU campus, and boom, there's Jimmy John with the original Jimmy John's in Charleston.
He was already guerrilla marketing back then. Handing out a sandwich,
in the 80s. And you'd come out of Crackers and you'd get sandwiches and stand in that parking lot.
Crazy.
It was awesome.
The first original food truck. All right, 840-217-359-2255, getting on this whole different tangent here to end the week on restaurants.
You know what we should be discussing is how great you are, dad-wise, for Father's Day.
It is
coming
Father's
up.
Day. I am blessed to be a dad, that's for sure.
You brought up one of the groups?
Yeah. This is Pork and the Havana Ducks.
Oh, boy.
Operator, put me through to Decatur. I ain't got a dime, but when I get the time, I mail it to you.
He was good, man. He really was. He really was. He was big around here for years. He died a while back. I don't know. I didn't know his real name.
Operator, put me through to Decatur.
I think he's from Farmer City, wasn't he? Anyway,
Stevie, this is just before I started getting into live music.
This was a really hot song in the 70s and 80s.
I get the busy signal all night.
All right, chime in if you want before we get out of here. We'll be back with sports headlines coming up.
This happens every time when I have to go away. The little girl always finds a new game to play. Operator, put me through to Decatur.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window. New roofing and siding are a winning combination that can instantly change the look, feel, and function of your home. Our Kramer Siding and Window team takes pride in being an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, able to offer a best-in-the-business 50-year warranty. Pair it with preservation siding in your favorite style and color, and your home will be a showstopper. Start today and save 10% on roofing and 25% on siding. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Check your sports headlines, ESPN 93.5. Diane Ducey.
Here comes a Ted's Warehouse in Charleston.
Oh, I remember Ted's.
Me too. Great times there. And bands that I actually started managing a little bit in the mid-'80s when I was into being a promoter of sorts.
Ted's Warehouse.
And they're saying in this article, when I researched Pork and the Havana Ducks, it was Jerry Armstrong, I think, from Decatur was his real name. But someone suggested we should go down memory lane the last half of the show on Fridays. Maybe
Well, we're townies. Not very many people
That's
can,
the
can talk
townie
it.
talk
Yeah,
stuff.
we remember.
And, of course, this is brought on because it's Flag Day, and we're handing out small flags for the Champaign County Freedom Celebration, in case you haven't figured that out yet. This all started because it's the old Snacks Fifth Avenue location is where we are until 6 o'clock tonight, and I'm doing duty from 3 to 6. So mention that you heard me on the radio. I always have prizes in my pocket when I'm out and about. St. Louis Cardinals win 4-3 over Pittsburgh and will now start a series against the Chicago Cubs from Wrigley with a 1:20 start. So enjoy that over on US 105.9. If you're a Cubs fan, Tampa Bay over the Cubs 3-2 yesterday. We have so many teams just locked up here with, pretty decent records and pretty much all the categories. The one that's way behind is the Chicago White Sox, but they did win over Seattle yesterday. Their record is 18-52.
Oof, man.
So, NHL.
Oh, you get good seats on the south side.
True,
for sure.
true.
Yeah.
Florida over Edmonton 4-3. So the Panthers are up 3-0 in that quest for the Stanley Cup, and that continues tomorrow. NBA Game 4 tonight at 7:30. Celtics leading that 3-0 over the Mavericks. Shad Khan forking out some money, $200 million plus for quarterback Trevor Lawrence for the Jaguars. And will he do some stuff for NIL?
Well, I mean,
go a line on?
Nobody's thought of that one. Yeah. No, listen, Sean's
How about giving to the Champaign County Freedom Celebration for the July party?
Can you imagine how many times
I know
a guy like that gets called? If you could reach his people and everybody wants some money. Anyway, Trevor Lawrence, $55 million a year, ties I think Joe Burrow for the most, and Patrick Mahomes sitting there at $37 million a year. Said, hey, we've won 2 Super Bowls in a row. What's up?
Speaking of football, Barry Lenny Jr. going at it and getting a dude from Ole Miss as Zachary Franklin comes our way.
Really good receiver. Luke Altmaier was on the same team with him, so they reunite.
Exactly. Rose Yeboah is Big Ten Field Athlete of the Year. Got the tap yesterday. Heading to Paris for the Olympics and representing her home country of Ghana. But her big leap was 6'5.5" for a program record, I believe. And, of course, Terrence Shannon Jr. acquitted.
Yep, not guilty.
Right.
That's great news.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Next week on an all-new Law and Order. Order! We convene here for case 217, Spring Green versus Weeds. Spring Green, the floor is yours. The weeds are infectious. The weeds steal the beauty from your lawn. We offer personalized lawn care, a mid-season checkup, and a simple and transparent process. Just click on to spring-green.com for a quote. Okay, Spring Green wins. Weeds, you're out. That's spring-green.com.
Jets is hiring. Call 217-352-9992 or stop into 1907 West Springfield Avenue near Round Barn in Champaign. Jets is open till 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays till midnight. Are you looking for a side hustle? Here's Josh from Jets talking about the benefits of doing deliveries.
When I was a delivery driver, it was amazing how much the actual amount of money I had just shot right up. It's hard to describe. You have money in your pocket every single day.
For details on joining the team, visit jetspizza.com.
In an ever-changing real estate market, it is so important to work with experienced agents like Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor teams at Taylor Realty Associates. They have the knowledge and expertise to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. Trust the experience and success of Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor team at Taylor Realty Associates. Give them a call today at 217-355-0700 or visit them online at taylorboys.com. That's taylorboys.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana is Saturday. As expected, some clusters of showers and thunderstorms moving on through yesterday during the course of the early to mid-evening. Couple of reports of some hail and gusty winds, about a quarter to less than a half an inch of rain in the gauge. We can certainly manage that coming off the recent spells of heat. Heat will be down, and humidity for the day today with a sunny to partly cloudy sky. That'll patchy fog around early on this morning. Highs to about 87 with a light northwest to north wind. Clear, cooler tonight, less humid, and a low down to 59 with a light northeast wind. Tomorrow may start the day off with, again, some patchy fog early on, sunshine and warmth with a high around 86. 60s tomorrow night. Here comes the heat and humidity for Sunday afternoon with a mostly sunny sky that may be nice with a thunderstorm early in the day. Highs at 94. Very hot, quite humid. Highs up 98 to near 100 on Monday. Maybe a thunderstorm here Tuesday at 96. Back up to 95 for the day on Wednesday. Low to mid 90s and a thunderstorm chance in the afternoon next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
This is Eric Bolin with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
As Tapman's Towing celebrates 50 years of serving Central Illinois, we're always seeking good people to serve our great customers. Our team of expert tow professionals would like to interview others with CDLs, previous tow experience, or a strong interest in serving others. If you enjoy serving people, love working in the outdoors, and looking for a career, not just a job, we should talk soon. Do you have a strong desire but lack the experience? We should still talk. Visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. Tim Onstad, want to jump to this announcement about Dixie Chopper dedicated diesel. What is it you're doing? I'm now curious.
We're going to the Ford County Fair in Melvin, Illinois, June 23rd through 29th. We'll have some models up there, some show deals for that fair, $7,999.
Wow.
And I will beat that price. I will have a show special and do better on that price.
Dang. If you find you at Ford County Fair, you'll be able to sit on it and probably really gawk it, right? Look at that thing.
Yep, you'll be able to haggle with me a little bit, and we'll work something out. We'll also have some Z2s and Z2 HP residential mowers there. One thing I haven't mentioned, there's a $500 rebate on the Z2 and Z2 HP through June 30th. Dedicated equipment on Facebook, 1313 Triumph Drive. You can get a hold of me on mowers, barbecue, trucking. It's timo@gstlog.com. We'll get you set up one way or the other.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Yep, any donations you can at Logic today to help our 4th of July Freedom Celebration, raise a little cash to pay for our celebration. It'll be much needed today. You'll be out there 3 to 6?
Yes, I will, and I'll have prizes in my pocket. Of course, you're supporting the 4th of July fireworks that are happening in the evening on the 4th of July. The run is at 9:05. The parade is at 11:05. You can send donations to P.O. Box 452 in Champaign, Illinois 61824. Champaign County Freedom Celebration, thanks for all you do, and thanks to those who already are on board and sponsoring this patriotic party.
Yep, gonna be fun.
Stevie Whitehorse was brought up.
Whitehorse
along with 20th Century 21.
I was there for prom.
Is that
Century
right?
21. We had
For me, it was Ramada Inn.
It was up high in 21 is where we were.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Thanks for being retro with us today.
We were remembering, and I remember a lot of these places I went like once.
And what brought this on was the 4th of July, we're taking the donations near Snacks Fifth Avenue if people remember that restaurant.
Townie reference.
Exactly.
Yeah, you won't remember it otherwise. But yeah, it was right there on Neal and St. Mary. Okay, we're done. We'll be back on Monday, God willing.
Happy Father's Day on Sunday. You're awesome.
Very thankful.
Mike Anderson, also a terrific dad.
No question about that.
Enjoy the weekend.
That's Diane Ducey. I am Stevie J. Thank you for listening. Again, Cubs and Cardinals, we're on early with them. We'll take out the drive. It's usually a fairly extensive experience when the Cubs and Cardinals get together at Wrigley Field, Chicago, but always fun. It'll be a sellout today, as it always is. Cubs, Cardinals on radio, US 105.9 for the Cubbies and ESPN 93.5 for the St. Louis Cardinals. Thank you for listening. I'm Stevie J. Have a blessed weekend.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Urbana Park District's tradition is back this summer with their free Neighborhood Nights concerts between 6:30 and 8 at a different park each week with a different band. I'm Diane Ducey, your MC from Stevie J Broadcasting. The Park District will take care of you with free popcorn, lemonade, and water. Meet different groups and friends. Enjoy the great music every Wednesday, 6:30 to 8 at different parks throughout the summer. Find out more about Neighborhood Nights at urbanaparks.org.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise, but Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
When your pipes are in a pinch and your drains are feeling the strain, who do you call? The plumbing pros, of course. At Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, they're your reliable partners in all things plumbing. From leaky faucets to clogged drains, they can get any problem you have cleaned up and taken care of. Their licensed plumbers are on call 24/7, ready to swoop in and save the day whenever a plumbing emergency strikes. Don't let a plumbing problem ruin your day. Call at 217-841-4728 or visit them online at dogtownheatingandair.com. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
Ow! A spring just hit me.
Mom, the couch is broken again.
It's about time we get rid of that clunky couch and look into buying a new one.
What about Two Men in a Junk Truck? Their professional moving team does a great job assisting with downsizing, home renovations, and clearing out old items you need hauled away.
Wow, it sounds like it'll make much more space in this house once the couch is hauled away.
I just pulled it up on my phone. You can schedule an appointment online at twomeninajunktruck.com.
Orange and Blue Golf Courses in Savoy is your place for golf in the Champaign-Urbana area. Tee times, rates, outings, and employment opportunities are all found at uofigolf.com. The University of Illinois Golf Course was built back in 1950, and Orange and Blue hosts so many great golf tournaments. You'll love the friendly staff at the Orange and Blue courses near Willard Airport. Go Illini!
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola.